They make music, they sell tickets, they pack stadiums here on Earth and all over the galaxy. They all come with tiny little instruments, and some even have songs that ranked on actual music charts. There's only one Halloween in October, but every day's a holiday in Rocktober. Pause for laughter. Hi, I'm Dan Larson, and these are the 10 best action figure bands. Number 10 is Daft Punk. A worldwide success since the late 90s, they've won Grammys and Billboard Music Awards. They've had multiple highly articulated 12-inch figures produced by Medicom, incredible 6-inch figures produced by SH Figuarts, and even an assortment of Kubricks and Bear Bricks, whatever those are. Their robotic stage personas make for compelling action figures even without any connection to their music or performance. And if that's not enough to earn a spot on this list, I included them anyway because I listen to their Tron Legacy soundtrack every week when I write the scripts for the show. Number 9 is Jem and the Holograms. The action figure doll line is blurry. You say fashion doll, I say 12-inch action figure with limited articulation and cloth goods accessories. Jem's star power, animated series, and use of synergy as a plot point and marketing approach were enough to power her into the 21st century with updated figures and a movie that borrowed the name and general concept even if it didn't look or feel anything like the cartoon from the 80s. Comics, toys, TV, Jem has moved a lot of product over the years on the strength of a unique brand that wasn't drawing upon prior association like competitor/copycat Barbie and the Rockers. Number 8 is Alvin and the Chipmunks. The world's greatest cover band since 1958, they are stars of the big and little screens, and full disclosure, I personally attended one of their live performances back in 1987. There's a ton of plush-related Chipmunks toys out there spanning the generations, but Ideal went all in with posable action figures and various playsets in 1984. Featuring 5 points of articulation and cloth goods shirts scaled around 4 inches tall, the line covers all of their instruments, recording equipment, their tour bus, and an incredibly versatile stage show in a box called the Curtain Call Theater. Number 7 is the Knights of Unicron. Part of the 30th anniversary celebration of the Transformers in 2014, the Knights of Unicron box set was initially a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. It featured Optimus Prime, Megatron, Soundwave, and Smooth Jazz, redecoed as an 80s-style hair metal band complete with Laserbeak as a guitar and Ratbat as a keytar. The figures were all previously existing molds with 80s-style prints and coloring added, as well as various wigs and pieces of cloth tied to their arms and legs, giving them a Van Halen or Aerosmith by way of Cybertron look. The set featured a comprehensive background story of their rise and fall as a group of performers and friends, their past and future, but ultimately fell a bit flat with fans having a no real connection to anything within the actual continuity of the line. While it didn't score big with core Transformers fans, fans of the absurd will want to scoop this up as soon as possible. Number 6 is the Max Rebo Band. It used to be just Max on the organ, Droopy McCool on the flute, and Cy Snoodles on vocals, but when you sign with a big label, they want a big show. When it came time to reshoot the number at Jabba's place for the special edition of Return of the Jedi in 1997, Max, Droopy, and Cy suddenly found themselves surrounded by 2 new studio musicians they'd barely rehearsed with, singers, dancers, and even some of Jabba's staff trying to get a taste of the spotlight. No one knows for sure if they were on Jabba's sail barge when Luke Skywalker and his rebel friends blew it all to heck, but being a part of one of the biggest movies in history and having multiple versions of their action figures over the 30 years since their debut goes a long way towards cementing their Hall of Fame legacy. Number 5 is Figrin Dan and the Modal Nodes. George Lucas so fully realized his creation that we have a sense of the popular music scene throughout the galaxy during that infamous Star War, and it all started with the Cantina at Mos Eisley. You're hearing it now, even without us playing it in the background. The biggest earworm track in the Empire. Luke and Chewbacca probably still have it stuck in their heads. Figrin Dan, no relation, and the rest of the Modal Nodes first saw action figure treatment as a Star Wars Fan Club mail-away exclusive in 1997, but the real action figure significance of the generically titled Cantina band member is that he was the first to be released with elbow joints, something that would take years to be fully realized throughout the rest of the Star Wars line. Number 4 is Detroit Metal City. Let me say right up front that Toy Galaxy is in no way making any kind of a statement about the content of Detroit Metal City as a comic, a live-action adaptation, or an animated film. It is very adult content for mature audiences with potentially offensive subject matter, as well as some obvious commentary on our celebrity-obsessed culture as a whole. Research it at your own discretion. The reason they are on this list is for the action figures produced by Revoltech for the 3 members of the band. I could not in good conscience leave off a figure that features blurred guitar shredding alternate hands, a figure that plays the drums with a pair of snakes instead of drumsticks, and a bassist that features a fire-breathing effect that has its own stand. Detroit Metal City is Kiss turned up to 5,000 with vulgar scenes and situations fully intended for adult audiences. But they are the most metal action figures that have ever been made that weren't designed to be a part of Sauron's army fighting at the Battle of Helm's Deep. Number 3 is Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem. Dr. Teeth, Zoot, Janice, Floyd Pepper, and Animal made their name as the house band for The Muppet Show back in the late 70s and into the 80s. 6 seasons on TV and several movie appearances, Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem are the timeless, ageless characters who will outlive every single one of us thanks to the corporate overlords at Disney and the fact that they are made out of fake feathers and foam. Palisades made the first fully articulated 6-inch scale Muppets action figures back in 2004 and delivered just about every character you can think of, including the entire Electric Mayhem, complete with Animal's drum kit and staging, Dr. Teeth's upside-down half-moon tinted glasses, and 2 different colors of Floyd Pepper's Beatles-inspired jacket. Number 2 is Kiss. Blurring the line between what is real and what is make-believe, their onstage personas persist as a genius stroke of marketing. Thanks to their best-selling Marvel comic books and inclusion in the Mego toy line, Kiss pushed into the realm of merchandising unprecedented for a band of rock and rollers. 6-inch, 8-inch, 24 inches, they've had toys in every scale with cloth goods, rooted hair, missile-launching weapons, actual designs, concept designs. They have thoroughly pushed the Kiss brand into every nook and cranny of the action figure industry. No one band has had a greater impact on the tiny plastic people in the past or through today. But the future, that's a different story. Number 1 is Wyld Stallyns. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure hit theaters in 1989, and by 1991, there was an animated series and a full line of action figures produced by Kenner. The core Wyld Stallyns duo was available as a 2-pack with a cassette of their music or as individually carded figures. And you cannot possibly name a better backing band than Wyld Stallyns when they have Abe Lincoln and Rufus on keyboard, Genghis Khan on drums, Billy the Kid on rhythm guitar, and the Grim Reaper himself killing it on bass. I mean, where else are you going to get a George Carlin action figure? In October of 2016, hey, that's today, NECA Toys delivered Bill and Ted as 8-inch scale, fully articulated figures with their guitars and cloth goods outfits to save our future by traveling throughout time, searching for babes, and partying with robots. Those are the 10 best action figure bands, an action figure theme that doesn't come up very often, and when it does, it's usually related to Kiss. Thanks for watching. Please hit like, subscribe if you haven't already, share this if you have, and let us know in the comments below if we left anyone out. There have been a lot of musicians that have been made into action figures, tons of them by McFarlane Toys. We wanted to include Cold Slither and the Average Joe Band from G.I. Joe, but the closest Hasbro ever got to producing those was a Zorana figure with a Cold Slither t-shirt. That's it.
Okay. All right.